suck at driving all of a sudden. Luckily we did this before wine.
What's going on, everybody? King Friday here. Hope you're having an amazing day today. I'm here with Frank from Bluefin. We're going to talk a lot about displays and custom solutions and digital signage. We're here at the National Sales Meeting 2026 for JB&A. They wouldn't let me in to actually grab some real Formula One cars and go around the Sonoma Raceway circuit. So we built our own. We're going to be racing a little bit and talking tech. So Frank, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Excited to be here.
Always a pleasure. So let's, for anybody who doesn't know about Bluefin, about digital signage on your guys' side, tell them what they need to know.
We manufacture displays specifically for digital signage applications. So a range of displays from 10 to 86 inches, touch and non-touch. And one of the unique things we do is we build an operating system built into that screen. So it's an all-in-one screen, high performing for digital signage applications.
That's awesome. And so, and we talked a little bit briefly about this before. So if I'm wanting to put content on that display, I'm assuming the display is networked in some capacity.
Yeah, so the display's networked. It could be networked Wi-Fi, it could be a cellular modem built in, and then you generally put that content either through a content management software company that's built right onto the operating system of their choice.
That's awesome. So you're sort of platform agnostic in that case.
We're platform agnostic. We do a lot of work with BrightSign. They're very robust, and that's obviously a great JB&A partner.
Sure.
So most of what we do through JB&A is we do have the ability to do some other operating systems if the content management software calls for it. We also have the ability to just plug into a standalone player if they already have their players deployed.
So it sounds like the name of the game is custom on the display side for you guys.
It is custom, and yes, custom scares people away occasionally because they assume it's expensive. Now the way to, it does, but the way to make custom less expensive is if we could take things out. If we're selling a small touch screen, we could take touch off. If most of our smaller screens have PoE built in. If they don't need power over Ethernet, we can also take that out from a custom application if it's going to scale. We also have the ability to choose the right media player to build into that. Whether it's maybe it's not a 4K application, doesn't need a whole lot of power, then we can put in a lower end BrightSign. Or if it needs AI functionality and it needs robust multi-zone, a lot of HTML, we can put in the highest end BrightSign player that may have AI functionality and maybe build in a camera inside the display. So that's the elements of customization that can really make that project happen.
That's incredible. Yeah, I think there are so many options for people to be able to sort of play with digital signage outside of the norm. You know, a lot of times people just sort of get in this sort of myopic view of what digital signage is, and that it's like, yeah, it's a screen, sort of sits there with a single image, maybe a couple, maybe a slide deck if you're really getting fancy, but they don't really think of what you can do and the options, the opportunities for the story, especially in retail. Yes. Retail is the easiest one in my opinion. That it's like there are so many touch points that you don't instantly think about if you think that it's like, well, I only have one blank wall that I can put anything on. It's like, no, don't think about blank walls. Think about where you want signage. Right. And I think that's where Bluefin comes in, because you said, what was the smallest display you said?
We've done under 10 inch as well, but 10 inches is pretty much what our core series is. It's small. We have an 8-inch application as well. Yeah, so you hit it right on the head, but the other side of that is we do a lot of unique form factors.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of stretch, and in fact, we've become like one of the industry leaders in that unique form factor, the stretch displays. We have the ability to cut as well LCDs, so we can get down to the exact dimensions that they're really looking for. And then circles and squares are kind of cool and sexy as well.
More than kind of cool. Yeah, no, they're absolutely fantastic. And again, like that, if you tell any marketing or designer, you know, for any organization, that it's like, just envision what you want in the way of a display, and then we can do it. We'll come up with the solution. That's huge.
Yeah, the biggest reason we can do that is we manufacture our own products. So we actually have a wholly owned foreign entity in Shenzhen that we manufacture everything there only for ourselves. So that gives us the ability to run smaller quantity proof of concepts, and then a brand may really fall in love with a unique form factor or a different size, and then that project can just explode from there. So we do bring in a lot of product into our warehouse here in Atlanta, so we can get to quick proof of concepts, and then once a customer falls in love with that, we can customize or tweak as they would like, and then go to full production.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then with you were mentioning putting like a camera or other sort of peripheral devices into the workflow. Can you talk a little bit more about how you would do that?
Well, cameras are becoming really big because they do love the element of being able to trigger some type of AI content. You mentioned the immersive, the experiential part of digital signage.
Sure.
The beauty of that is you're looking for sometimes for a triggering device, right? And that could be gesture. It could be it could recognize that I'm coming into a room and it wants to put content on that screen that's going to give me a point of purchase. Like I'm gonna be able to go and attract myself to buy that product. So there's a lot of elements that you mentioned from that immersive experiential, whether it's retail, whether it's museums, whether it's even courtrooms doing some they're doing some translation.
Sure.
And so that there's a lot of elements of signage that people don't think about, and it's growing, the market's growing, and we're excited to be part of it.
Oh yeah, well, and people are thinking now, and I've talked about this in some of the other episodes, but retail media networks are huge. And getting different retailers sort of on board with the concept of your signage doesn't have to only be your own.
Yes.
Your signage can exist for other partners that that it's like, hey, we have a similar persona that we're trying to hit. Can we grab signage that would be and bring that signage into our retail locations or wherever it might be, and be able to utilize that same messaging across however many screens you have, but then it's not just for free. It's like, and then it's like, well, you're going to pay for that, and it's like, but originally that technology didn't really exist very easily. That was a highly bespoke thing that it's like, Joe Schmo's Burger Shack is not going to be able to easily do that. But now you can have the big boys say that it's like, all we need to do is be able to buy into your retail media network to be able to put the signage in. Do you okay it? Do you not okay it? And that's it. And then they put their ad in and it's all good. I think that, bringing that back to what we were talking about with cameras, proof of performance, proof of play, and seeing the demos, okay, who really came through here to watch this. I think all of that being able to be brought into AI and be able to, to grab the analytics of that is huge. Yeah,
retail media networks, I mentioned the industry growth and some of the industry trends that we're seeing. Retail media networks definitely is leading the way. The key is to not make it look unusual in that retail outlet. To allow
giant camera. Exactly.
So the ability to integrate that into either the bezel camera into a bezel display, or put it right into the environment. Right?
Sure.
It's into an end cap, or it's a unique form factor that triggers the eyes to look at, because maybe people are kind of tired of looking at 16:9 screens because they see them all the time, or they see them in their home.
One.
Or they have them in their house. So, and then we are doing a lot of touch interactivity. Touch is a huge portion of our business. Very unique to Bluefin is we really don't have a like-to-like competitor. We do so much different. We don't necessarily operate out of a catalog. We do have a core group of products that we keep in inventory, but we can let their imagination wander and almost create the perfect solution for that exact space and what they're trying to target.
What is it? Is it mostly indoor? Is it outdoor as well?
So we've launched a line of outdoor products over the last 2 years. That's going great. Whether it's stadiums or hospitality.
High brightness.
High brightness.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of Bluefin, is that customization element. So we can do indoor high knit screens that attract the eye and brings people into a store or a university or a museum. Or an aquarium, or those types of things, or we can do some outdoor as well. We would get those IP rated and have that same performance outside as well.
Awesome. And for people that are sort of going down the path of DVLED, what is sort of what are the advantages, disadvantages, point Bluefin, sort of types of things.
Yeah, so DVLED is a great growing trend, and you have some great partners that do incredible work. We're almost the opposite of those partners. They're generally creating these extremely large solutions.
Yes.
That's that one-to-many solution where you're having a lot of eyes attracted to that. We do a lot more personalization on the LCD side, but we are starting to see bigger and bigger requests from us. Last year we sold a lot of 86-inch LCDs, but we also know what we're really good at.
Yeah.
And we don't. We want to stick to that LCD. That's basically where we've come from. We have a lot of expertise in that area, and you're able to get that high brightness, that really crisp image. And then we are doing a lot on the small touch side. That's one-to-one interaction and that interactive element of it. To get that right messaging to that one-on-one.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think I love what you said about sort of it being what you know and what you're good at. I think a lot of times markets can get sort of saturated with a lot of things, and but if you've got it locked in on LCD, I think there are so many opportunities where having good quality LCD panels is so difficult and so a lot of times gets kind of rare.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool that you guys are bringing that to the table. I think you see so many times it's whatever cheap bargain bin thing that you could get down at the corner drugstore you see on the wall, and you're just like, that was the best you could come up with.
Well, when we talk to an end customer, we want to always talk about best in class, and we want to be that best in class hardware for them, but they're going to have to go to get their own best in class software for their specific application, whether it's their specific vertical or what they're looking to accomplish. And then what we like to do is to have them choose their best in class operating system.
Yeah.
So what does that software operate the best at? What are they going? Our screens last a long time. So what we always like to say is, well, we understand what you might be doing now, but what are you going to be doing 5 or 6 years from now? And you want to leave enough headroom. That's why we put in high-end operating systems, because we want to leave enough headroom so down the road they can do what they want to, because nobody wants to rip and replace hardware.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And but hey, rip and replace it if it needs ripping and replacing.
Absolutely.
Is what I would say, definitely. And just rethink it. I mean, I think most retail environments are they're changing end caps, they're changing displays all the time anyway. And there have been plenty of times that I've seen sort of subpar displays go in, and it's like, and I saw the vision, I looked at it, I saw the vision, and it's like, it looks great, and it's like, and the TV's off. It's like, a pixel's dead. It's like, oh man, it's like,
a negative digital signage experience as a worse experience than having no digital signage.
Oh, absolutely. Have you ever seen the billboards that have Internet Explorer popped up on it? It's like, oh my gosh, really? It's
we love to talk about uptime. That's why we use all the highest quality components that go into our product. Why we partner with the highest quality operating system companies, so that uptime's there, so you're not creating negative experiences. We do a lot in retail. You mentioned retail a few times. That is our largest vertical, but we're starting to see more and more of the other vertical markets that we're partnering with the right best-in-class partners to get our products deployed in hospitality settings, stadiums, corporate communication, higher education, airports. So it's been a great growth trend for us.
That's incredible. What's on the horizon for Blue? I don't know how much you can say, but what's on the horizon for Bluefin? You talked about the larger displays that are coming up, the custom shapes and sizes and stuff. But
so I mean, it's always funny to talk about nukes. As a custom company, we can create just about any type of experience with LCD.
Well, maybe can you speak to one that you can talk about that was interesting recently?
Well, I mean, last year was the year of larger displays for us. Our premium series, larger displays, we started stocking a lot of those here in Atlanta, and it's really gone off well. Circles and squares have really taken a hold on the marketplace too. We've done some larger deployments with both of those, just because people are willing to spend a little bit more, because it's going to capture the eye. It's going to tell the right branding story for a lot of brands that they spend a lot of money on branding. Might as well go and get somebody that's going to be looking at those elements. So it's been big for us as well, and we're going to continue to look at other ways to go after some of these vertical markets with the right solution. So in a lot of those cases, that stretch displays have become very sexy. A lot of people, they do attract that eye, and they are definitely people getting the return on investment with retail media networks and a lot of other areas where a 16:9 screen may be too high and impact negatively sightlines.
Yeah.
Where a stretcher or even a smaller display can work well in that application.
Absolutely, and I think the big takeaway here is that like we said before, DVLED definitely has its place. It's fantastic technology, but depending on on budget, on placement, on heat, whether or not it's going to be directly in front of somebody, all those things. LCD really, you don't think about it as something that can be in anything more than a 16:9 typically, but the fact that you guys are doing that brings a whole nother level of customization to be able to say at the wall, we wouldn't have been able to put DVLED on this because of the custom mounting. It's like, but we actually don't have to kill your vision. We can actually go into the LCD route with Bluefin. I think that's a really cool concept.
Yeah, so it's between stretch or being able to perform with high nits, or those unique form factors or countertop displays that make it real easy to take a product out of the box, get the content delivered to it, and then being able to repurpose those displays throughout your space. Yeah. There's a lot of advantages of unique.
And do you guys do you help in the and from a content perspective? I know you guys don't necessarily create the content, or I don't know, maybe you do. But I didn't think so. But but knowing, okay, we know what you want to do. We know the shape and size. Here's the best way to to sort of go about it, facilitate. Do you help in some of that?
Yeah, in fact, it's probably the strongest part of us is our partner ecosystem and what we could bring to the table. So we can do a digital signage needs assessment, bring in the right partners, to really round out that whole application and give the end user exactly what they're looking for.
That's excellent. So if anybody wants to get in touch and wants to get started, what's the best way?
Yeah, we built out the team at Bluefin, so we got a great staff behind me. And we also continue to update our website almost daily right now with a lot of unique applications that we're going to and case studies. But you can find us at thebluefin.com and obviously on all the socials.
And the JB&A website.
And the JB&A website as well.
Always. Frank, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Ready to cream me in racing?
We'll see if I can avoid all the trees.
Okay, that sounds good. I don't think there'll be any trees.
Okay, good.
Hopefully
Even
not.
better.
Let's kid.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Kid.
This is killer. Oh, and not. Okay. Oh. I had to get that out of the way. Okay. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
I tried, but I ended up with a red flag. Uh-oh, we're back down.
Frank, I'm curious, what's one of the more interesting applications? I've been asking all the manufacturers this question. One of the more interesting or strange applications you've seen for Bluefin?
We see so many cool things. Actually, what I love is the museum applications too, or where people are building some of these unique sizes into. You can't even tell if I'm looking at a live exhibit at an aquarium or if that's actually the screen size, that's running content. I love that stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's so many options. Like I said before, it's like sort of you can, with Bluefin, you could sort of let your imagination run wild, I'd imagine, to a pretty large degree. Be able, especially with being able to cut your own glass. That's such a cool concept that not everybody can say.
Well, you're building the element right into that brand, right? Of what that brand is hoping to portray.
Oh yeah.
So whether it's a whiskey company that wants a circle display that looks like a barrel, right? Those are pretty popular right now. Like just people trying to build that element right into their display.
Oh, totally.
Man, I suck at driving all of a sudden. Luckily, we did this before wine.
Oh, I think I see you in my rear view.
I gotta get back to the track. I don't know where the track went. This one? Oh, not that one. Oh, there we go. There we go. That was great. I don't know what I would do without my helper here.
Silas has been coaching amazingly this entire time. Shout out to Silas.
I think when I was actually at the Sonoma Speedway, it was easier. You killed me.
Yes, it was. That was great.
That was awesome, man.
Awesome. You enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
I even threw you one question and you got it. It was great.
All right, cool. You threw me a question while my brain was like focused on oh, like finally, I was going the wrong way for a little while.
No, it was great. That was awesome.
This is so cool.